Hey everyone, so on Monday I posted a video about the web development roadmap, and I really want to give everyone the equal chance actually, to have access to my lowest price courses. So all courses are today on sale, big sale that I do each and every year. Talk a bit about which course or which path you should choose when you're going through these maps. So let's say you want to learn the basics. You're a total beginner. You want to learn the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I'm just going to drag this to the side so we can go through this. So this is already on my blog. This is a current post of web developer top courses for sale. Let's say you want to start off at the very basic. You should go and try out my very first course. It's a bit old, but it's still the same. I'm going to refresh it. Don't worry about that. You already got a lot of content here, a lot of new content. And this is basically the starter, the beginner, complete. You have no idea what web development is, what is a web page, so far and so on. This is the course for you, where you're going to learn basic skill of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Let's just take a look at this. So you're going to have here that the basics of web development. You're going to HTML boilerplate, CSS variables, and everything about CSS. You're also going to learn a bit about SAS, a bit about JavaScript, nothing fancy, but you're going to have a lot of content in here. It's over 26 hours. So you're going to learn here. I'm constantly updating this. April. In April, I did the latest update. I'm going to add a new to-do list to this later on in the year. Okay, so it's going to have your hands full with it. Now, if you're done with this, you should go ahead, move here to responsive design and then CSS. You're either going to choose advanced HTML, CSS, build and deploy websites. So very basic stuff. So this is the one, advanced CSS, HTML, SAS, no JavaScript at all. You're just going to learn design patterns, flexbox, grid system. How to use variables in CSS is really powerful. And then you going to have your heads full with SAS and a lot of projects. One is constantly being updated. Now, if you don't want this one, then you could go ahead and take the Master Responsive Design course, which is mostly focusing design patterns. So this is not for the beginners. You have to know your CSS before you jump into this. I'm going to straightly jump into responsive web design, CSS flexible. So although I'm going here for the basics, but we're going to straightly jump into transitions, animations. We're going to have a couple of projects, mobile first design, a lot of good stuff. So after this, I would suggest that you should move to either SAS. I have here the Advanced CSS and SAS course. This is a powerful course, 26 hours long, as you can see here, and you got your hands full with this. So we're going to straightly jump into SAS, plain SAS, then again CSS and SAS, but in SAS, so not CSS Flexbox. Going to learn it in SAS, and have a couple of projects. Then start creating your own framework. We're going to create components that you can use and extend them, modify them, create a portfolio. As you can see here, parallax. These are all projects. Now, in between, if you want to take a break from design, you could check out Visual Studio Code, also a course specifically focusing on enhancing your coding skills in Visual Studio Code, meaning you already know how to code a bit, you already did your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you can now check out more powerful features of Visual Studio Code. You can see you're going to talk about the terminal, the UI, how to increase your productivity. You're going to learn how to sync up your settings between different Visual Studio codes. Let's say you have one at work, one at home. You can do the basic set. You can do the same setup at home. You're going to learn all about the advanced keyboard functions and shortcuts for both PC and Mac. You're going to walk away from this being a much more efficient web developer. And efficiency, believe me, is everything. Especially when you're doing something for money. Okay, so from here, as I said, you should start working on Git and GitHub. I have a course for this one. This is not a short. Yes, it is a short course, a 5-hour course only. Believe me, that's all you need. This is all you need to know about Git and GitHub in order to get started. not only to get started, you're also going to do a couple of more complex features, share project, and so on and so on. But this is mandatory. I cannot imagine myself without Git. Okay, so we're going to move on from this, and you can either move back, or you could have stayed with a couple of CSS frameworks after doing your responsive design but I would suggest that you do your Visual Studio Code and then jump into Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS. Now, I don't have a Tailwind CSS course. I'm still working on it. It should be out at the end of this year, but you could try out Bootstrap instead. Till then, also, again, I would suggest you do both of them. Bootstrap is extremely powerful. Bootstrap, you can just plug and play. It's extremely powerful when you think about that you already have your components ready to go. So after going through the basics of Bootstrap, installing Bootstrap, working on components, and also icons, Bootstrap has icons, don't need to use Font Awesome for everything, then we're going to do a couple of projects. The bio website, the business website, resume website, photo website. Then we're going to move a bit into SaaS, because SaaS is extremely powerful. So this is why I said either you go this path and come back to here, come back to this, because SaaS is very powerful. And as soon as you know SaaS, you can pretty much play around with configuring your own CSS framework, meaning you can configure Bootstrap, you can configure your Tailwind CSS, and of course create your own framework then. But try out Bootstrap first, extremely powerful, especially when especially when it's asked to throw together a quick prototype of a website or for an application, because you already have your buttons, you have your alerts, you have everything good to go, so you can just plug and play. Now, after Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS later on, I would suggest that before you start working on a framework, go a bit more deeper into JavaScript. So I have one single course on JavaScript that I need to refresh. Absolutely. This is a complete JavaScript course. You can learn everything that you need about JavaScript, a bit of Node.js. I don't have a backend course yet. I'm working on it. You're about object-oriented programming, error handling, async await, regular expressions. Wow, this is so powerful, regular expressions. Examples for regular expressions, ready to go. Create a couple of projects, work on storage, learn about JSON, extremely powerful. You're using JSON all over the place. You're going to have a couple of projects, and only then I would suggest that you move in framework. My favorite framework is, as you can see, React. I have a couple of courses on React. Now, the first thing you should do is learn about React. So here's my best choice for you. React for Beginners, from HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to React. Meaning, we're going to start up pretty slowly with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then move into React. What I mean by that? Well, actually, we're going to create a project in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then slowly move it into React, and then we're going to jump from React, or moving that to React, because it's extremely complex if you do stuff that way. You're going to then use the Create React application. And within there, we're going to have a lot of fun. As you can see, Create React app. This is where everything starts. How to style in React. Going to learn about components and props. They're going to do a little project here, e-learning, learn about states and hooks, working with data in React, element reference, form handling, error handling, refactoring, navigation. You're also going to learn about the router, a really big chapter here, app data, and of course we're going to have a couple of projects, and then also use Tailwind CSS within React. So this is where you're going to encounter for the very first time Tailwind CSS. Now, as I said, if you're done with this, you could either apply for a job or start doing a couple of projects and still applying for a job. This is in stay up to date and keep learning modules. To do for the rest of your life, as I said in my previous video. So within here, I would suggest to try out the 10 HTML, CSS, JavaScript. No, this is a bit complex. Actually, before that, I would suggest that you do the 30 HTML, CSS, and JavaScript projects. These are more basic projects, and there are a couple of more complex projects in here. So you can do a I'm Not a Robot, a stopwatch, expandable search, digital clock, animated navigation, simple typewriter effect, tab navigation menu, login form validation, tip calculator, how much tips you should leave there, drag and drop, so on, so on. So check this one out. This is extremely interesting. You're going to learn a lot of stuff here because you're doing HTML, CSS, and JavaScript all in each and every project as you're applying this. Okay, so the very last courses that I would suggest. Now, from here, you can either go to the 10 HTML, CSS, and JavaScript financial applications. This is hard, really difficult course, but I love it. This is so practical. You're going to build here practical financial applications, tax calculator, retirement calculator, stock management, watch list, budget planner, savings goal calculator or tracker, loan calculator, investment portfolio tracker, income and expenses tracker, and so on. So on. This is also free. This is EXIS modules. Optional course here because you are going to need it later on for actually do need it because some of these are done using modules. Now, if you understand modules is where you can actually do a framework, but if you just take my JavaScript course here, you're also going to, but that one is also included there. Then if you are already in React, take the 30 React projects course. What are you going to do? Well, 30 React projects. So you're going to do a electronic signature application, a random color, a like my photo application, testimonial, alerts application, temperature color, dark mode, slide to unlock. These are very basic React projects. Also, a couple of them are more complex. Let's see, expense calculator and tracker app is a bit more complex. The phone book is also a bit more complex. Let's see, the card game is a bit more complex than the authentication app, of course, store. Okay, so if you're done with all of this, then you can follow me right here on YouTube, like and subscribe, click that notification bell in order to get notified whenever I post new videos like this. I'm Norbert BM and I teach web development. And I wish you all happy coding and a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.